Hello YouTube, in this video we will be terminating Keystone ends onto category 6 cable or CAT6 cable. This is also going to work with CAT6A, and it's going to work with pretty much any cable, but yeah, CAT6A and CAT5e. This is shielded cable in this sense, so these ends are slightly different than the traditional Keystones, but yeah. First things you're going to need are a pair of cable strippers. I just used the built-in ones off of my crimping tool. And this is the True crimping tool. Also, a nice pair of scissors to cut the cable. You're also going to want a pair of flush cutters. These help you split the spline and cut off the ripcord, so on and so forth, as well as a cable tester. This is a Klein Tool Scout Pro 3. So yeah, now let's get into it. This in and use these as the strippers. So with that being said, let's get into it. So first things first, I'm going to stick the cable through, right? And I already kind of started stripping this a few seconds ago because it's the second time I recorded it. I like to give myself a good bit of room. So with that being said, I did way too much, but so there's two ways you can do the shielded cable. You can use foil strips, or you can use the shielding that is provided with the cable. I like to use the foil strips, but I will show you both ways. So I'm going to pull this down. At the end, it's good just to give it a little rip to help this pull down. But you don't want to rip it too much. So you just need it ripped enough so that you can properly terminate the end. See, this is already coming off, but that's way longer than I need it, so I can just rip that off. So I'm going to pull this down. Before I do that, you will see this strain wire. The strain wire needs to be wrapped around the cable before you pull that down. And first things first, though, I am going to cut this ripcord. All right, so we cut the ripcord, pull this back. You're just going to wrap this strain wire around the cable. And all these steps are not needed for regular non-shielded cable, but since we're doing shielded, it has a few extra steps. So we do that, we bring this down, and we pull this around. That's going to be way more than I need, but I'm going to wait to cut that off until we're done. Cool. All right. Then you have this little piece of plastic that goes around all the wires. You're going to see that on higher quality CAT5, or not CAT5, higher quality CAT6 and CAT6A. So we just want to cut that as low as we can without nipping the strain wire or the wires. Cool. Last time I did this, I nicked the strain wire and it wasn't good. So cool. What I'm going to do now is pull all these out, and I want to cut this. I want to cut this divider or through the middle, so I'm going to go at a slight angle and snip with these flush cutters. See, this is why the flush cutters, and you also got to make sure you don't nick your wire. The reason you cut each one of these little things, so you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. You cut all 4 of them, and then you can just twist the cable, and you can get it cut down lower than you would without. So that's the reason we do that. And then after you do that, you just twist and pull up, and it comes right off. Cool. I have too much wire here, but it's just easier to demonstrate. So on your connector, you will see the color code A and B, A and B. In this series, or in this case, we're going to use B. That is T568B. So essentially what I like to do is take the sheeting from the cable and I put it in there, and I can just twist around, and it makes it nice and easy to straighten out these wires. See, I have way too much here, but it doesn't really matter. It may make it a little bit easier. Makes it easier for some people and harder for some people. So, but that's typically way more than I would usually do. But I just did that for demonstration purposes for you guys. So that being said, we're gonna go around so you can see the colors as we're doing it. All right, cool. So we just got green left to do. Yeah, you start separating by hand a little bit, and then you just turn this, keep turning it all the way down, and it makes it relatively easy to untwist the twisted pair. And we're going to take this and we're going to straighten these out as much as we can. For the ends, I'm using the Cable Matter shielded RJ45 jack. It's for the Keystones. You know, you want to use a decent quality Keystone because it'll make your life a lot easier. Just like the ends, like pass-through ends make it a lot easier, especially if you're making a bunch of cables. But yeah. All right. Okay, so if you accidentally shut this up, you're gonna need to take a. And I kind of bent these. So I'm going to shut this, and then I'm going to show you how to open it as if you accidentally shut it prematurely. So I clip that on. You're going to take a screwdriver. This is way overkill. Kind of shove it up in one of the sides, hold it, and push it up on the other, and it comes open. Cool. So now we will be pushing our, where'd it go? We'll be pushing this into the connector. So what you want to do, orange is going to be on this type of cable, orange is going to be up top. So we're going to, I believe, yeah. And then you kind of just jam this thing in, and that's going to push all your connectors on. After you do that, what you can do is you take your snippies, and you're going to snip all your wires as low as you can. So got the flush cutter, snippies, whatever you want to call them, just snip them as low as I can. Okay, and we got to try to push that on better, and snipped it on. So we're going to take this, jam it in there. Okay, so that's good. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to pull this, like that, and you're going to just push down real hard. It's very hard to do without the pair of pliers, but yeah. Look how easy these make it. I just go boom and boom, clipped, done. So that is good. And the last step, we take the zip tie and we zip tie it. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you guys how to test the cable tester. But yeah, you take your zip tie and you give it a good old zip. And then what I like to do, take the flush cutters and snippies. So yeah, that is a terminated end. Actually, I don't like to put the zip tie on it till I test it. But anyway, yeah. So I will show you the testing, how we test this type of cable. So the first thing you're going to want to do is test the cable you will be using for the jack. You will need 2 patch cables for this, 1 on each side. So I'm going to test this one and then grab another one and test the other one. Cool. So I'm going to use the Scout Pro 3 and I hit the test button. It's going to show me that my cable is good. If you're using shielded, it's good to test with a shielded cable. That way you know if your shielding is correct. So anyway, we tested that cable. You are also going to want to do that with your other cable. And then I'm going to put plug this end in, and I'm going to plug into my connector. Okay. So I'm plugging into the connector, and I'm going to go downstairs and test the cable on the other end. Hello. Will be doing the testing of this cable now. So as you can see, it comes in. I have a Keystone jack on it. So I have a true cable patch panel that I'll be using. So I went ahead and terminated the Keystone onto the other side, the same way as you just saw me. And now I'm going to run a test on this cable. So, what's the verdict here? I'm going to hit the, oh, I screwed that up. So I'm hitting the test button. And I think I plugged into the wrong one. And I shorted it. So let's plug in to the correct one. So I'm going to plug in. Okay, so now that I actually plug into the right cable, you can see that I got a pass. So that is good. Another good thing to do is I got a mess coming in. This is where I'm going to do a little closet for my networking equipment. But I got a mess here, so I got to clean all this up, wire manage it, and oh yeah, so just getting started with this project. So you guys are here for the journey, and that's how you would terminate a Keystone connector.